Free will and determinism. The debate between free will and determinism is a perennial, philosophical issue that has engaged thinkers for centuries. This philosophical quandary pertains to the extent to which human beings possess control over their actions and decisions. While some argue that individuals have the autonomy to make choices free from external constraints, others maintain that every event, including human actions, is determined by preceding events and natural laws. Free will is the notion that individuals can make choices that are not determined by prior causes. Proponents of free will argue that humans are autonomous agents capable of acting according to their volitions. This perspective is often rooted in moral responsibility. If people are not free to choose their actions, it becomes challenging to hold them accountable for their deeds. In legal and ethical systems, the concept of free will is fundamental. It underpins the idea that individuals can be justly praised or blamed for their actions. One of the most famous advocates of free will was the philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre. Sartre posited that humans aren't condemned to be free, emphasizing that with freedom comes the burden of responsibility. He argued that individuals must create their essence through actions, as there is no predetermined human nature. This existentialist view highlights the weight of personal choice and the responsibility each person has to define themselves through their decisions. In stark contrast, determinism is the theory that all events, including human actions, are ultimately determined by causes external to the will. Determinists believe that the universe operates in a chain of cause and effect. Everything that happens is the result of a preceding event, and, given the state of the world at a particular time, only one outcome is possible. This view is closely associated with the principles of physics and the natural sciences, where laws of nature govern the behavior of all matter. A notable proponent of determinism was the philosopher and mathematician Pierre-Simon Laplace. He postulated the concept of Laplace's demon, an imaginary intellect that, if it knew all forces and the position of all items in the universe at a given moment, could predict the future with absolute certainty. This hypothetical scenario underscores the deterministic view that every state of the world is the inevitable result of preceding states. The apparent dichotomy between free will and determinism has led some philosophers to seek a middle ground known as compatibilism. Compatibilists assert that free will and determinism are not mutually exclusive and that it is possible to reconcile the two. They argue that determinism does not preclude the ability of individuals to make free choices, as freedom can be understood in a way that is compatible with causal determinism. One influential compatibilist was the British philosopher David Hume. Hume contended that freedom should be defined as the ability to act according to one's desires and intentions without external compulsion. Under this definition, an action can be considered free even if it is determined by prior causes, as long as it aligns with the individual's internal motivations and is not coerced by external forces. The debate between free will and determinism has profound implications for ethics and morality. If determinism is true and every action is the inevitable result of preceding events, the basis for moral responsibility is called into question. How can individuals be held accountable for actions they had no true power to avoid? This line of reasoning leads to challenging questions about justice, punishment, and reward. Conversely, if free will exists and individuals have genuine control over their choices, it justifies the moral and legal systems that hold people accountable for their actions. However, even within the framework of free will, there are complexities. Factors such as upbringing, social environment, and psychological conditions can influence decision making, raising questions about the degree of freedom individuals truly possess. In contemporary philosophy, the debate continues with new dimensions added by advances in neuroscience and psychology. Some neuroscientists claim that human behavior can be explained entirely by brain activity, which appears to support a deterministic view. Experiments in neuroscience have shown that decisions can be predicted by brain activity before individuals become consciously aware of making them, suggesting that what we perceive as free will might be an illusion. Nevertheless, other scholars argue that the experience of making choices and the sense of agency are vital aspects of human life that cannot be dismissed. They contend that even if our decisions are influenced by prior causes, the subjective experience of choosing is significant and meaningful. This perspective maintains that the complexity of human cognition and the layers of influence on decision making do not negate the existence of free will but rather enrich our understanding of it. The philosophical debate over free will and determinism is far from resolved, with compelling arguments on both sides. Free will emphasizes autonomy and moral responsibility, suggesting that individuals are the architects of their destinies. Determinism, grounded in scientific principles, proposes that every action is a consequence of preceding events, challenging the notion of individual autonomy. Compatibilism offers a nuanced perspective, attempting to harmonize these conflicting views by redefining freedom in a way that accommodates determinism. As our understanding of the human mind and the universe continues to evolve, so too will the discourse on free will and determinism. The implications of this debate are vast, affecting our concepts of morality, justice, and personal identity. Whether we are truly free agents or merely players in a predetermined script remains a profound and enduring question in philosophy.